Hello, amazing people. Welcome back to my channel, guys. Your girl partner. So, how you guys doing today? I hope you're all doing great and I hope you're generally fine. I hope your day went well or is going well as planned. Okay, yes, guys. Today, I'll be showing you how to make this beautiful butterfly kaftan dress. Like, this is so gorgeous, one of the most gorgeous outfits like I have rocked, and I love this already. If you want to see how I achieved it, trust me, this is super easy. Then stick around with me, okay, to the end as I take you through the easy process on how to make this beautiful dress. Let's get started. So here is the print I'm using here today. Yeah. So what I'm going to do now is to lay my fabric on the table. So first of all, I'll be dividing this into two parts. So I'm going to making a half length cut. Okay. Yeah. So a half length cut. Then before we cut the lowest part, which is the kaftan. So here, this is the half length cut. I'm cutting out for both the front and the back piece together. It's going to have a zipper. Yes. So I'm using half length of 16 inches. I'm just adding extra hemming allowances at the top and at the lowest part as well. So the zipper allowance space is just about 2 inches that I'm using here. So the first thing I'm going to do is to take my vertical measurement. I'm taking note of the chest line, which is going to be at 9 inches. Then the next is going to be the bust point at 11.5. Then the next is going to be the under bust. I'm marking that at 15 inches. Yeah, for the under bust there. Then of course the length of the top itself. So what I'm doing right now is just to convert everything to a straight line. Okay, yeah. So yeah, the next thing now will be to mark my slope, the 3 by 8 inches mark. Is what I'm going to do right now. Marking my 8 inches first. Don't forget it's at that tip of the front piece, not the back. Then also marking out 3 inches. Then of course at that 8 inches, I come down by 1 inches to get my slope. Okay, yeah. So that's it there for my slope. Then after that, I'm going towards fixing the shoulder. The shoulder for me here is 15. If I divide it by 2, that's 7.5 plus 0.5 inches, that's 8 inches. So I still go back to that 8 inches mark. So I'm just extending it all the way to the chest line. Okay, yeah. So from the slope, I'm getting the midpoint. It's 8 inches, the midpoint will be 4. So like we should be familiar with this, like we have done like several of these, right? So the essence of this is just to get that front armhole. So from that slope coming inwards by 5 inches, I'm just creating what's my curve. Okay, yeah. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to get my dart line. Yeah, I need to create, because this is going to be like a straight cut princess dart here. So I need my nipple to nipple distance for that, and which is 7. If I divide it by 2, that's going to be 3.5 plus 0.5 inches, making it 4. So I'm just marking out 4 inches, you know, from that unfold part of the chest line all the way to the tip of the top. You can see me marking down a straight line there. Okay, yeah. So in order to create my princess dart effect, now I'm going to get the midpoint of my armhole. But before that, I need to fix the bust measurement, which is 38 divided by 4, that's 9.5. So I'm just taking note of that point there. So from the slope there, I'll be able to get the curve of my armhole, and what I have was 10, so the midpoint was 5. So I went ahead to indicate that. Okay, yeah. So I'm going to connecting this all the way now to the upper part of the bust point. So the bust point was 11.5, right? So I'm just going to go up 1 inches from that bust point line. You can see me indicating that point now. So from that 1 inches above the bust point line, I'm going to connect it to the midpoint we just have at our armhole there. Guys, like this is it. This is our princess that we just created now. So what I'll do now is just to, eliminate that sharp edge, just to smoothen that edge there. And we're done. So as we usually do for princess that, we always extend that length by 1.5 or 2 inches, okay, to avoid any shortages when we're joining it at our armhole part. So that's it. Then for the bust line, I just went ahead to add extra 3 inches of allowance so I could create what the proper armhole curve there, just like I just did. Okay, yes guys, so we're done. It's just a straight cut princess that, just like I said. Yeah, then I'll go ahead to fix the waist measurement, which was 36 divided by 4, that's a 9. Then I'm adding extra 3 inches of allowance. Of course, I'll go ahead and join this entire piece out. Like, you are done here. So the next thing here to do will be to fix the neck measurement. So I'm using a neck width of 4 inches. Okay, of course, for both the front and the back. Then for the front, I'm using a neck depth of 5 inches. Yeah, so I went ahead to create that curve. Neck width of 4, neck depth of 5 for the front, but for the back, I'm doing a neck depth of 7 inches. Yes, for the back. Okay, yeah, so I can't cut out the back neckline first until I do for the front. So I just need to take note of from that point of the neck width so that it will be visible when I'm cutting out for the back piece. Okay, yeah. So the next thing, of course, is to go ahead and cut this out. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and cut out the necklines, the shoulder, and of course the main dart itself. And guys, we're done with this here. So the next thing, of course, is to go ahead and cut off what the neck with. So it's going to be a V curve kind of shape. Yeah, so that's what I'm just doing now. Can you see this? I'll go ahead and also call this out, guys. Like, believe it or not, we're done with the cutting of this upper part. Okay, yes, that's it, guys. So you can see how this look like. This is just the same thing. The same thing. The only difference here is the zipper allowance space. Okay, so that's why I said it's just a straight cut, princess, that no extra activities here. Yeah, so it's quite simple for you to achieve if you want to try this. Yes, guys. So once you're done here, the next thing I'm going to do now is to cut out for the sleeve. So I have this piece of fabric, and the length of my long sleeve here is going to be 25 inches. That's what I'm using. Okay, so if you look at the lowest part of this piece, I just had to do some little joining. I'm just trying to manage my fabric here. So I just joined. So that joining part is going to be on the lowest part of the sleeve, okay? Yes, so that's it. I have my length there with some extra allowances. And I'm going to be turning all this with a lining afterwards, okay? Yeah, so indicating the length of the sleeve. So the first thing I'm going to do now is to start taking the vertical measurement for this sleeve part. So the first is going to be the bicep. So the length to the bicep, which is the biggest arm of the part of the arm, so that's at 7. The three-quarter length, sorry, I took that at 15. Then of course the length of the sleeve, you can see me marking a straight line at this point here. Yes, sir. So what I'm going to do next now is to take note of the cap's height, which is 4. I'm using 4 is ideal for an average woman. Okay, you can do 4.5, but 4 is okay. So that's what I'm doing here now. So at that cap side, the edge there, I'm just making a slant line. Yeah, the width of this is actually the armhole circumference divided by 2. Okay, which is like 10 inches. So you can see me making a midpoint there. Okay, so this is just to enable me get my curve. Yeah, so if you're not familiar with this, I have a video on how to cut out a long sleeve. Okay, it's also linked in the description box. You can go ahead and watch it as well in case you're not familiar. It's quite easy. Okay, yes, guys. So after that, I will now take the measurements of the bicep. That's the round circumference, the circumference of the bicep. Okay, in this case it's 14 divided by 2, that's 7. I'm just adding extra 1.5 inches there. Then for the three-quarter, I also took the circumference there, which is 13 divided by 2, 6.5 plus 1.5 inches extra. Then the last is going to be the circumference of the ankle there, which is 11 divided by 2, that's 5.5. Of course, still adding extra 1.5 inches. Guys, we're done. Just to connect this point, and we'll go ahead and cut out our sleeve, guys. At this point, guys, if you've not liked this video, I beg, what are you waiting for? Please hit that like button. I appreciate that, okay? Hit the like button, and also if you've not subscribed to my channel, also hit the subscribe button. Remember to also turn the notification bells, okay? So this helps you get notified every single time I upload my weekly videos on this channel, okay? Yes, guys, thank you so much. So here we're done with the long sleeve here. So what I like to do now is to take the circumference of what I have on this arm part, okay, and what I have here is 11.5. okay, remember this is on fold, right? So by the time you open it off, you have 23. So this 23 is the circumference I'm going to use now to cut out that flare that will need to attach to the body of the dress. Yes, guys, so here I have my piece of fabric folded into 4. This is actually folded into 8 because I want to cut out for the 2 flares at the same time. So mind you, I'm using this circumference as a guide. Okay, so yeah, so that because I know it's going to of course give me exactly what I want. So I'm going to be cutting this out like we're cutting out our peplon. Okay, yeah, so that 23 I divided it by 6.28, and I'm using approximately 3.5 here. So that's what I'm using to mark as the circumference of my curve. So you can see me creating this curve. So I usually like to check what I have after marking my curve, and have about 6 inches. So by the time I multiply it to 4, that will give me 24, right? And we need 23. So cutting out a flare, there is always tendency you have a bit of excesses. So I just had to go up a little bit more, and of course after that it gave me exactly what I want. So that was good to go. So the next thing of course now is to take note the length of the flare. So I'm using 6 inches actually. So but I had to make it 7 inches, right? Because there's going to be a hemming at the lowest part and also at the top part of the flare. Okay, so I went ahead to mark my 7 inches all the way. Remember, I'm going to be using a lining to turn all this through. Yeah, so that's it, guys. So I'm using my 7 inches, just went ahead to cut out my flare, and yeah, that was it. So after that, then I can now slit one side open. So mind you, you can make yours doubled, like make this your flare cut doubled, okay, so that you can achieve a pleating effect. Okay, yeah, so mine, I'm not doing that. I'm just using this straight cut because moreover I'm just managing my fabric here. So yeah, we're done here, guys. So what I'm going to do now is to join this entire piece together. Okay, so you can see we just go ahead and join like that together. Like I said earlier, I'm using a lining, so I'm just going to cut out a lining for every single piece here. I'm going to use it to turn this all through, and of course I'll go ahead to join the shoulder as well. Okay, yeah, so we'll need to do this before attaching our sleeve and also our flare. So this is what I'm just going to do now. I'll go ahead and finish this up, then of course I'll come back to show you the next step. So here, guys, I've gone ahead to finish turning it all with the lining. You can see my main bodice. For the back piece, I had to use a pin just to hold it there at the zipper part at the moment. Okay, yeah, so you can see my sleeve and also my peplon here all turned out with the lining, of course, of giving them all a very good press. So to attach my flare now, this is the point to do that. You can see me spreading up my fabric, my main body of the dress straight up. Okay, so I need to locate the midpoint. The midpoint is actually at that shoulder joining. So at that shoulder joining, I'm going inwards by 1 inches. Okay, so 1 inches, I need to make my stitch. I can't sew it at the end because remember I'm still going to sew my long sleeve there. So I need to move inward by 1 inch. So I'm going to be sewing my flare straight down. So my flare is going to run from that shoulder joining there all the way straight down to the body of the dress, and it will be the same thing to the other side. That's the back side and the front side. Okay, so you repeat the same thing for both sides of this top. So just like I said, if you want that pleating effect, then this your flare cut, you should have doubled it, which means you have to join it into two, just like you have it separated, right, in order to achieve that flare and standing effect, just like you have it on the thumbnail. And also to give it a little bit of high-low effect, even though we use 6 inches in width, maybe at the tip of the flare you would have done maybe like 4 inches, so that by the time you curve it, you'll be able to achieve that high low. If I just hope you understand what I'm saying here. But for me, I'm using it straight, so I'm not doing any pleating. Moreover, I was just managing my fabric here, and aside that, I like it this way, like it still gave me what I want. Okay, yeah, so for you, you can actually double your flare and pleat it at this point. Okay, yes, guys, so once I'm done attaching this now, the next thing now will be to attach the long sleeve. Okay, you can see this is the point you can now go ahead and attach your sleeve at the same time. So once you're done attaching your sleeve, then you see everything now will fall into place. Okay, yeah, so you can see how this is looking already. If you bring down your flare, you can see this is looking all beautiful. So at this point you can just join the sides of your sleeve. Then for the flare, you can see that the tip of the flare is still dangling. You can leave it like that, but if you want to hide it, which is also what I did, I had to what, go ahead and sew up that edge, that sleeve edge there. It just hide the edge, everything will still fall in place there. You can see how I'm folding it inwards there, just so all the stitch is going to run through like that. You can see how beautiful this is looking already. So you're going to do this for, of course, on the other side as well. Okay, yeah. So once you're done, the next thing I will be to fix the lowest part, which is going to be what, the caftan part of this dress. Yes, so this needs to be done to this extent before fixing your caftan. So I'm using this piece of fabric, and having in mind that the full length of this dress was 56, after taking away half length of 16 inches, though the lower length is going to be what, 40 inches, plus of course some hemming allowances. So I have my piece here, and you can see this is along the 45 inches in width. So I'm using it entirely like that. So I'm going ahead to split it into two, because of course it's going to be different for both the front and the back. Then one piece for the back piece, I had to slit it again, okay, because of what, that zipper allowances. Okay, so you can see me slitting open one of it now. So one piece now I'm going to attach to the zipper part. So I just went ahead to attach them. I used a pin to hold that back piece for the moment. So I will take one piece for the back and attach it. So my attaching is going to come from that zipper allowance. You can see what I'm doing now. Attaching it from that zipper allowance is going to run through to the very end. Wherever I stop, that's it. Okay, then you start the other one too from the zipper allowance as well. So this is this is all just creating this caftan effect there. You can see this now. So this is how it's going to look. Okay, yeah, so we're going to do the same thing from the front piece as well. So for the front, I'm making a fold into two to get the center point. Okay, you can see me notching it now. So the lowest part, I'm also going to do the same thing. I'm making a fold as well to get what, the center point. So once I'm done now, I'll go ahead and match it up. Okay, center point to the center point, right? Yeah, then we're going to be making a sew from one center point to the end and the other way around. Okay, yeah. So also having in mind that the edge of this caftan part needs to be hemmed. You used to hem the edges. Okay, but for me, I'm also going to use a lining, right? I'm going to use a lining for that. So my lining is going to hide all the edges of the sides and the lowest part. So this needs to be done first before making our final sew now. So once you're done attaching it, you can see how it's looking already. Just arrange this properly. Then the next thing now will be what, to sew the sides of the top. Take note. Now this is the visual look for the front piece. So your sew is definitely going to be from the inside. That's from the wrong side. Okay, so don't mind me that I'm demonstrating this at the right side. You have to turn it over to the wrong side to sew the sides. That's, you're taking it from the sleeve all the way towards the half length cut. Okay, so that half length one, you're just going to stop, let's say 1 inches below. You can even do half inches. Okay, I hope you understand. So you're going to take it from the sleeve length all the way to like 1 inches below that half length joining. And at that point, you will take it to the other side. You can see my chalk marking now demonstrating that. So you make your sew, stop at that half length cut, then run your stitch to the side. Don't forget, you are doing this on the wrong side. Okay, yeah. So by the time you're done, if you now flip it to the right side, you will see you have all those edges in place. So this is how it's meant to be. So once you're done flipping it to the right side now, it is time for you to now create what, your caftan effect. Okay, so at this point, like I said, I'm using a line. You must have turned it both the sides and the lowest part. At this point now, you can see at the lowest tip of my dress, I'm marking out about 3 inches, 3 to 4 inches. I'm now going to take it from the tip of that half length. I will run it through to the lowest point. You can see my chalk markings. Okay, so this is just me creating a bit of a line effect. If you want yours to be fitted, then you might have to run your stitch straight down following the shape. You have to fix in your waist and also your hip measurements. Okay, but me, I want it to flow. I want it to be free. That's why I'm taking it from that waistline all the way to that 3 inches at the tip, which is exactly what you have on the thumbnail there. Okay, yeah. So that's it, guys. Like, once you're done, like, this outfit is ready, having in mind that this stitch is going to be on the right side. This is your final stitch, so it has to be on the right side. Okay, yeah. So but for me, I just have to add a little bit of spices to my own. So at the edge, even though I use a lining to turn the lowest part, I did a band, okay, at the sides there. So just like you can see. Thank you, guys. We've come to the end of this video. If you find this helpful, please don't forget to give me a very big like. Okay, till I see you on the next video. Have a wonderful day.